Good morning and happy Sunday. Welcome to Star Trek at 60, where we look at the Star Trek films as they turn 60 years, as the franchise turns 60 years old here in 2026. Been counting down through the feature films. We are halfway through the run of the Next Generation cast films. And that brings us to Insurrection. This is the second of the two films directed by Jonathan Frakes, who played Riker on the Next Generation cast. As I mentioned last week, proud tradition of the first officer of the uh, crew, serving as director for a couple of the feature films. He does back-to-backs here. And if First Contact is their best film, I think Insurrection is probably the most forgettable of the films. And that's not to say it's bad. In my franchise ranking, I have it ranked number 9 out of 13. So lower middle, but right around the middle. And that is kind of the range where I have a couple of their films. If you remember, Star Trek Generations was squarely there at 8, kind of dead center. First Contact, I think, is a little better. Was number 4. This one, it's not bad. It's not incredible. It's a crisply shot. Story is okay. Um, F. Murray Abraham, Anthony Zerbe appear in here, Donna Murphy, kind of rounding it out. It is a little bit about alien races. It more just feels like an episode of the series writ a little bit larger. And that's not necessarily a bad thing if you enjoyed the series. But when it came to the theatrical films, the films that seemed to pop the best were the ones that had some kind of scope and spectacle befitting the big screen. And that's probably where this one comes up just a little bit short. Still, though, Star Trek Insurrection, a film that I think is pretty well done and is pretty entertaining for what it is, just not one of the better or more memorable ones in the Star Trek canon, and it's probably the least memorable of the Next Generation's feature films. First Contact, the best, very memorable. Generations at least has Captain Kirk. The one we'll talk about next week, memorable for a whole other set of reasons. Insurrection, just kind of that third child that slips in there and slips out. But that is this week's Trek at 60, Star Trek Insurrection.